Is it possible to promote your music with $0 and no extra time? This is what we're going to be covering in this podcast episode, the Musician Secrets podcast. Welcome. I'm your host, Elise. I'm your host, Elise Koa. And this is what we're going to be talking about is it too good to be true to promote or to market your music with no extra money and with zero of your extra time? So let's dive right into that. The first thing that I want to address, because it really ticks me off, it makes me super upset, as you can probably tell. But what is marketing? Like, the advice I hear from gurus out there, that's what really ticks me off, because they mistake marketing for advertising, and these are not the same thing. And as you will see, once you know the difference, marketing will become easy and fun, actually. The more I learned about business and marketing, the more I realized that there was this huge misconception about it, and that's why people don't like to talk about it, or they use this really broad term marketing that is just for everything. It's just like, what is marketing? For you as a musician, that's totally normal. That's not what we know, right? Because we're musicians. We're good at what we do in music, right? We make our music, we're musicians, we're talented in that way, but we have no idea what marketing is. And that is fine. That's why you have people like me who help you with your marketing. But the first thing that you need to understand is, what is marketing? And that's what I'm getting into. But what really upsets me are gurus out there teaching marketing, but they actually have no idea what marketing is. Even worse, they mistake it for advertising. So, what is advertising? Advertising means to make known. That is advertising. As simple as that. That's Alex Hormozzi's definition for advertising. It's the simplest and best way I found this definition for advertising to be. So advertising is to make known. It can be organic or it can be paid. Doesn't really matter. Most of the time it might be paid, but advertising means to make known. Okay, so you want to make yourself aware, your talent, your music, your brand, whatever it is. If you want to make yourself known and aware of yourself or your music and your talent, then that is advertising. Marketing, on the other hand, for me, has 3 levels that will help you understand what marketing is. So let me get out my trusty whiteboard. So the first level is, marketing is creating desire. That is what marketing is to me. Marketing is creating desire. That's level number 1, right? So I don't want to create desire in everyone. First of all, that's not even possible. And even if it was possible, that's not what I want, because my music isn't for everyone. I just want to think of your favorite artist, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Pick your favorite artist, okay? So it can be Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Billie Eilish, Jack Johnson, John Mayer, Katy Perry, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Does everyone like their music? Is everyone in the entire world a Jack Johnson fan? Is everyone in the entire world a fan of Billie Eilish? Is everyone in the entire world a fan of Taylor Swift? No. It's not possible. There are 7 billion people on this planet with different cultures, with different opinions, with different beliefs, with different tastes of music. There's no way you can please 7 billion people. Neither should you do it. So you focus on the right people, which are your fans. Okay, so marketing is, where are my markers? So marketing is creating desire, but in a specific amount of people. Marketing is creating desire within my perfect customer, or as because we're musicians, we're going to say fans. So marketing is creating desire within our, let's even say super fans, super fans. That is level 2. Okay. Super fans. So level number 1 is marketing is creating desire within our super fans, because again, we don't want to create desire in 7 billion people, even if it's were possible, within our super fans. And now we're coming to level number 3. Within our super fans, to take action, to take a specific action, right? Within our super fans, to take action. And that is our CTA, call to action. Okay? To take action. Those are the 3 levels, in my opinion, of marketing. So, marketing has like all these different, as you can see, has different levels in here. And so it feels like everything is marketing. Yeah, because everything kind of, in my opinion, kind of ties into marketing. And I interviewed Chris Bradley a couple of years ago now. And I asked her, like, what is marketing to her? How important is marketing? And if I find the clip, I'll insert it here. But basically, she said that marketing is almost more important than making the music, because it's kind of like being in playing the Wembley Stadium, for example, and you have the biggest and best performance there, and then you look out into the crowd and nobody's there. That is marketing, is taking people to take action because they have the desire to do so, if we kind of reverse engineer that. So now the question isn't how do I market my music? The question is, how do I create a desire within my fans for them to for them to do the thing I want them to do? So if the CTA, call to action, is buy my merch, then how do I because selling is a own skill. So marketing and selling also is not the same thing. Selling is a own skill that you have. So marketing ends right before the sell happens, if that makes sense. So I might say, hey, if you want to learn more about how to create desire within your fans so they will buy eventually what you want them to buy, then you can join my community. It's called the Musician Secrets Campus. It's for free. You can join there. And you can learn more about to get to create desire within your fans. That right now was marketing to you. Now, when you go into my community and all that stuff, that's when the selling happens. That's a own different skill, right? So a lot of people also mistake marketing for selling. They're not the same thing. So marketing is really for you to create the desire to do something. And it's interesting because Eileen Wilder, she said something very profound. She says, people do things for one reason and one reason only, because they feel like it. Did you understand that? People do things for one reason and one reason only, because they feel like it. If I don't feel like it, I'm probably not going to do it. So creating desire is a feeling. It's an emotion. Emotion is what gets us to do something, not logic and reason. Logic and reason might support it, but only when I'm like emotionally charged. And whether, like, if I'm angry, I just want to punch someone, right? And if I'm in love, I just want to spend all my time with them. right? Only when we have an emotion, that's when we do things, good or bad. But an emotion is what gets us to do something. So if we feel like it, we will do it. And that's why creating desire is powerful, because desire is changing your emotional state to get you to do what I want you to do. So that's not forcing someone, that's persuading someone. So I'm kind of dip into selling here now. So marketing is desire, sales is persuasion. What's the difference? So a lot of people will think that selling is, oh, they're forcing me to do something, or they're just really, um, what's the word? Like, not forcing, but kind of like trying to convince. That's the word I'm looking for. So they're trying to convince you, and convincing and persuading is not the same thing. So convincing is, this is how I see it. It's the only way how I see it, and you need to see it the way I do. And therefore, the only conclusion is that you do as I say. That's convincing, is convincing someone to think and believe and do what you're doing or what you want them to do. That's convincing. Persuasion, on the other hand, is showing them another option. Like, you could do this, but this is what I've done, what I've seen customers do, and they've gotten these results and have gotten yada, 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 right? And now I'm persuading them that what they are doing right now is maybe not working, and that there might be a new or a better option for them to get the same or better results. Now I'm persuading someone, right? I'm just showing you that there is another option. Like right now, you might think that Spotify is the only way to make money with your music. But I would beg to differ, because Spotify is not a business model. There is a better business model that I call the Musicpreneur Blueprint. And I teach all of that here on my channel, and how to become a musicpreneur. Or if you want to deep dive into this and really take your music career seriously, then you can go to the Musician Secrets campus. I go live there once a month at least, and I teach all of this, specifically how to create desire and all that stuff, in the Musician Secrets campus. Boom. Did you see what I did there? Like, so selling is just showing you another option and then making the sale, right? So obviously when I'm selling, I have the intention of exchanging value for money. That's the intention behind a sale. Now, the intention behind marketing is to create desire, so you will do what I want to do. So it can be download my free template. It can be go to my community. It can be subscribe to this channel. It can be leave me a like or a comment. Like the CTA, the call to action, can be a lot of different things. In sales, it's obviously the sale. So you have one objective and one objective only, and that is to make the sale. In marketing, it can be actually many different things. But what's important is that you only have one CTA. So one call to action. So what a lot of people will do on YouTube is like, oh, like and subscribe and comment. Those are already 3 call to actions, right? So when I say, go to my community, that is the only CTA you will hear from me at once. Like, not all of it. So like, maybe in 5 minutes I'll be, don't forget to subscribe my channel if you want more videos like this, right? But I'm not doing them all at once at the same time, because a confused mind will always say no. And we don't want that. We want to be clear in our marketing by creating desire within our super fans for them to take action. Those are the 3 levels. So that means I need to know how to create desire. So now it's not about how do I market my music? It's how do I create desire within my fans so they take action. So I'm just going to scratch this on the surface really quick, but creating desire mostly happens through telling stories. But there's a specific way to tell a story, and there's um yeah, there's a specific way that you need to tell a story to create desires, because not all stories are created equal, and not all stories will get you to do something, right? So there's a specific way that you want to tell a story. And again, I teach that in Musician Secrets Campus. Link is down below. Okay, so that's level number 1. Level number 2 is our super fans. We need to know who our fans are in order, because I can't create desire in someone I don't know. Then it's kind of like a hit and miss. But if I know my fans and I know what they desire and I tell the right stories, they will naturally take the action I want them to take. Okay. So level number 2 is knowing your super fans. And that's why the artist identity code is extremely important, because I deep dive into who you are as an artist and knowing who your fans are in that module. And again, you find it in the Musician Secrets Campus or in my live trainings. I talk about that as well. Or I might even have a video about that. So if I have a video out about that, I'll link that up as well. But we need to know who our fans are. And I believe the biggest reason why Taylor Swift is so successful is because she knows her fans inside and out. She knows exactly what they want. She knows exactly what they desire, and then she gives that to them. So she's usually a badass businesswoman. Everyone talks about how talented she is, and yes, she is. She's like a ninja, a lyric ninja. But people always underestimate her business skills. And when you know this and you tap into that, I mean, sky's the limit to how much money you want to make. Taylor Swift is the best example. So, because I keep looking over here, it's just a board, right? So marketing is creating desire, and it creates desire through stories and by knowing who I want to create a desire in. And then I just need to know what I want them to do, right? And the only rule with a CTA is have one CTA. A confused mind will always say no. All right, so this was kind of a little bit longer ride on what marketing is. I just wanted to go deeper into this because I just see so many misconceptions about marketing, even gurus, so now gurus out there. And now you can say, no, Mr. What you're talking about is advertising, and advertising and marketing is not the same thing, my friend. So marketing is creating desire. End of story. That's the best definition I found for me. If you have better definitions for what marketing is, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinion about what you think marketing is. But for me, marketing is really creating a desire within my super fans for them, in order then for them to take action. So now that I know what marketing is, now I can get into the second step. Is the best marketing is free marketing that doesn't cost me any extra time. And so I found a way to achieve that. Now there's always a way. There's always a way how to do something. And I found a lot of ways how not to do something that doesn't get me the result that I am looking for. Now that I know what marketing is, how can I create something that doesn't cost me any extra time and none of my money? So what I would suggest, this is something I call anyway content or boring content. Why should you make boring content? Well, boring content, why I reason, well, let me rewind that. Because the reason why I call it boring content is because it seems boring to you, not to your fans. It's boring, one, because it's just something that we do anyway, and that's why I just like to call it anyway content. These are things we do anyway, and then also because it comes natural to you. Because it's natural to you, we don't realize it, and that's why for us it seems boring, but it actually isn't boring to our fans. They actually want to know what we're up to. So when we create anyway content, it doesn't cost me extra time because I'm already doing it. So what's a good example of anyway content? So, for example, doing like when you go live, do a breakfast with me. Like if you're already having breakfast, I'm not a breakfast person, but a lot of you guys have breakfast. If you have breakfast, just schedule a little bit more time. And while you're having breakfast, answer some questions your fans have with you. That doesn't cost you really much extra time. It just requires you to turn on the camera and start filming yourself. The same thing with behind the scenes footage, for example. That is also that's powerful because you're doing the thing anyway. You're making the music video. You are on a podcast interview. You are doing something anyway. So just get your phone and start filming it. Worst case, you just delete the video. But just set it up, get a tripod. That's probably the only investment you will probably have to make. But you can just put your phone, if you really want like $0 budget, then you can just set your phone somewhere and film yourself. And I want you to think of that everything is content. Everything you do is content. What do I mean by that? So marketing starts the second you press record in your DAW program, the second you get out your phone because you have an idea for a song, or you get out a piece of paper and you write your ideas on there for the song, your lyrics, yours in your head. As soon as that's when marketing starts. So that's the second biggest mistake I see musicians do. So when you realize what marketing is, right, it's creating desire. The biggest mistake, what I see, is they create their album, their songs, their merch in isolation. And then when they're done, oh, my album is done, my EP is ready, my single is out. That's when they go into promotion mode, into marketing. But that's when it's, in my opinion, half of it is already over. Like marketing starts the second you hit record. So show the process. This is the best book I found. It's not a marketing, it's technically not a marketing book, but Austin Kleon, he has a book, it's called Show Your Work. And in my opinion, this is the best marketing book out there. Because he says, show your work. He's basically just saying, as soon as you have an idea, as soon as you're drawing something or creating something, that's what people want to see. They don't want to see your fans. Of course, they want the finished song and the merchandise. Yes. But they want to see the process. How did you get there? That's like always what people are asking in interviews, right? Is like, oh, how did you come up with the song, and what's the story behind it? Like, what what went through your head when you were writing it? It's like they want to know what happened before the end result, behind the scenes. What happened there? And that's show your work. That's anyway content. Everyone just has maybe different words for it. I call it anyway content because it's things you're doing anyway, aka behind the scenes. Show your work. Like marketing starts the minute you hit record, the minute you have a song idea, that's when your marketing starts. Then obviously once the project is done, you already have created that desire within your fans. So when it's then out, selling becomes easy. Now, here's the thing. Here's the reason why selling seems hard for people. In my opinion, I haven't heard anyone else say that. This is really just my opinion. In my opinion, a sale becomes hard because I haven't done the marketing beforehand. When I do my marketing right, the sell becomes easy. Because marketing is creating desire, right? And so when I've built that desire, the sell becomes easy. But selling becomes hard is because I haven't done the marketing before that, or really bad marketing, not the right marketing, because I didn't understand marketing. The sell is hard because the marketing wasn't there. If you do good marketing, the sell is easy, or much easier for sure. Good marketing, easy sell. Bad marketing, hard sell. That's just what I've found for me personally. That's my opinion. I haven't heard anyone else say that. I just got to stress that. That's at least 101. Okay. So that's the cool thing with marketing. If I get my marketing right, the sale becomes easy and people will want to buy because I've already built this desire. My marketing has built this desire that now when my music is ready to drop, now people want to go buy it. Okay. But it only happens if I start the marketing process when I hit the record button, not when I'm done. Like musicians, we finish our project, we have our music done, and then we're like, now what? And I'm like, and then they come to me and like, what should I do for marketing? I'm like, you missed it. You missed the golden opportunity to market. Obviously, marketing extends over the time that you are marketing them. It's not like because you're done, now you're done with marketing. No. Obviously, it goes beyond that. But the heavy lifting actually starts when you're creating it, when you're creating your music. Now, there's something I just wanted to say. I just skipped my mind. But basically, marketing starts way earlier than you think it does. So yeah, and that's why just show your work. Showing your work is what I call boring anyway content, and boring anyway content is marketing, because that's where where you're starting to build the desire for your fans already happens. So by the way, Austin Kleon also wrote the book Steal Like an Artist. So if he sounds familiar, it's because you've probably read Steal Like an Artist. Everyone talks about Steal Like an Artist, and I think Show Your Work is super underrated. It's not talked about. And the cool thing about this book, it has like all these pictures in here. So it has a lot of pictures in here, and because he's an artist, right? And so he draws it and stuff like that. And yeah, so this is a quick read. It looks a little thick, but that's just because there are a lot of pictures in here, and those are the books I like to read. Yeah, so maybe I can find like a good section in here. I wasn't gonna read something from here, but I just feel like maybe it will help you. Maybe it will like help you a little bit. Maybe I'm gonna read like this section. So I'm on page 47. Show Your Work from Austin Kleon. I'm sweating because it's so hot in here. So here's the quote on page 46. He says, "Put yourself and your work out there every day and you'll start meeting some amazing people." So 47, send out a daily dispatch. Overnight success is a myth. Totally agree with that. Dig into almost every overnight success story, and you'll find about a decade's worth of hard work and perseverance. Building a substantial body of work takes a long time, a lifetime, really. But thankfully, you don't need that time all in one big chunk. So forget about decades, forget about years, and forget about months. Focus on days. The day is the only unit of time that I can really get my head around. Seasons change, weeks are completely human made, but the day has a rhythm. The sun goes up and the sun goes down. I can handle that. Once a day after you've done your day's work, go back to your documentation and find a little piece of your process that you can share. Where you are in your process will determine what that piece is. If you're in the very early stages, share your influences and what's inspiring you. If you're in the middle of executing a project, write about your methods or share works in progress. If you're just completing a project, show the final product, share scraps from the cutting room floor, or write about what you learned. If you have lots of projects out in the world, you can report on how they're doing. You can tell stories about how people are interacting with your work. And then he has like this picture here with like 1x and then like how that compounds over time. So that's why boring content is so amazing, is because it compounds over time. You just do a little bit every day. Right? It's not saying like do all the work right now. It's just saying, yeah, no, this is where I am right now today. And that's why it's like, anyway, okay, thank you. Ich komme gleich. Gotta love my kids. This always happens. It's either the kids or the dog or somebody coming in, interrupting, but that's okay. I love him. Yes. So, um, it's not sexy, but it works. And that's what the pros do differently from amateurs that I've been, lucky enough to talk to so many musicians out there. The pros just do it anyway. They do the boring stuff that nobody does but gets results. The amateurs, they're always looking for the hack and the new thing that's out there, the new shiny object, right? Like what works today? I'm not a hack person. I can give you my framework so it can save you time and money, but these are evergreen frameworks that work no matter who you are, what you do, or if you're watching it now or in 10 years. It will still work because I'm teaching principles here. I'm not teaching hacks. This anyway content, this boring content, that's just a principle. Like anyone can do that at any time. Doesn't matter if it's now the platform where you might post it might be different, but I'm not talking about platforms right now. I'm just talking about creating the content, which is your marketing to create desire, right? That's the beauty of it. When you understand the principle behind something, you can plug and play and it will work. So this, I can't rave enough about this book. When I read it, it changed, it kind of took that fear away and that pressure away from having to find this perfect, polished content that it needs to be out there. And I just want to say this. Now with AI coming into play and just kind of flooding the world right now, people are getting sick of this super perfect, edited video stuff. Like people just want real. People want real conversations. They want to see your personality, your quirkiness, who you are as a person. They just want to see who you are as an artist. That will become more important to have that human connection than these over polished, crazy, like highly edited videos. And people just want to see real. And so when you do these minimalized, edited, or even no edited, like in my case right now, this is unedited. It's not live, but I'm recording this and I'm just going to edit the first few seconds and the last few seconds, and then here we go. Because I want you to see my personality. I want you to see the mess ups. I want you to see that this is not a perfect take. Like my son just kind of comes in, and it's gonna be in this podcast episode, and that's okay. Like take it or leave it. That's okay. I am human, and so are you. And AI doesn't have life experience because it's not a living thing. And so when you talk about your experiences about things that went wrong, mistakes that stay in your video, then that makes you human and more likable. And that's what makes boring content now even more valuable, um, in my opinion. So, Omar El Takouri, he talks about it as, what does he call it? Casual polished content. So you don't want to put like crap out there, obviously, because there's enough crap out there. But he talks about it as casual polished content. That's what I'm doing right now. It's casual. It's nothing like high production. It's just me, my phone, and my wireless mic. um, that's it. And in my office, nothing fancy, but it's nice and polished. It's good quality, right? And so if you can do the same, something obviously that's applicable to you, then that becomes amazing. And the cool thing, that content you can get paid for as well if you put it in your community, in your subscription community. Okay. So I talk about that's how you can make money with this boring, anyway content in the Musician Secrets campus as well. So you can go check that out. Um, but basically, when you understand what marketing is, and if you see it more as a documentation of your process and your progress, and seeing it as like anyway content, things you're doing anyway. I'm not saying you need an amazing life. You can have a boring life, boring to you because that's what you're used to. But here's something I learned. Somebody out there is praying for the life you have right now. Someone would be very glad to switch situations with you right now. But you say, oh yeah, but my life isn't great. Yeah, because you're looking at all of the negatives in your life, everything that's going wrong, everything that's not working for you. That's what you're seeing. But you're completely neglecting all the good things that are happening in your life. That's what other people see, of course, because most likely we hide the bad pieces. When we realize that our boring life is actually not that boring by sharing it with others, that's pretty cool. So I was a little reluctant to call it boring content just because your life isn't boring. That's why I like to call it anyway content. So things you are doing anyway. The only difference is you're going to put up your phone, you're going to press record. That's it. That's why it doesn't cost you any extra time. It doesn't cost you any extra money. Maybe if you want to be a bit more fancy, you can get a little like tripod for your phone. So you don't have to like set it on something and hope that your phone doesn't fall over. But you can get them pretty cheap on eBay or Amazon or whatnot. Um, and that's it. Like you just set it up. I just have my tripod with me pretty much all the time. And I just film anyway. content. I want you to see that everything you do is content. I'll be right there. Ja, sagen Papa, ich komme gleich. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. Ich komme gleich. Bitte mach die Tür zu, ich bin gerade am Filmen. Bitte mach die Tür zu, ich komme gleich. Ich habe dich gehört, Liam, danke. Ich komme gleich. Ich arbeite. Fangst schon mal an zum Essen. Oh gosh. Okay, I gotta wrap this up. But my last words, when you understand what marketing is, and you start the second you start recording, and you show your process, and you just do a little bit every day, and you just create anyway content, things you're doing anyway. And I'm talking about like everything is content. Everything you do, when you see it from the lens that everything you do is content. When I'm changing a diaper, when I'm recording, when I'm out with my kids. And the only thing is, what do you want to be content? Obviously, I'm not having my kids in this, even though I am a mom and I am a wife, but I want to focus on the music side and the business side. That's what I'm showing. But I just want you to kind of be more aware that everything is content, and showing the process and the progress you're making is what I call anyway content. And it's the best marketing you can possibly do. Okay, I gotta go. But if you want to learn more about this anyway content and more of this boring content, then you can join me in the Musician Secrets Campus community. I go more into depth there. I do own trainings on exactly what that is and all that good stuff. But for right now, basically just get your phone out, just film everything. And even if it is super boring, then do a time lapse. Let's say you're 2 hours on your laptop in your dot program. Then do a time lapse. That looks really cool. Post that. Okay. But even if you're working on your dot, just kind of walk people through what you're doing and why you're doing it. And then that's not boring either. Okay. Right. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for listening this far. I'll see you in the next video. Mahalo. Bye.